Not recently or earlier?
That was in 2006 to 7. And there was a lot of talking about mortgage-backed security, securitization, and there was talk about ABS, there were asset-backed securities and CDOs, collateral obligations. Several of these fancy terms came into view and people started talking about these mortgages. Do you have any idea that how the crisis had happened? Okay, anybody who had heard about the crisis, read something about it?
Only from the Nigerian bank and many banks can do that.
Yes. So, do you feel curious to know that why this happened or what was the problem with the banks?
They were reached the firewall.
There was a breach in the firewall. But you know, these banks keep deposits of people and they have to pay them interest. So they have to earn from somewhere so that they will be in a position of giving interest and returns on the fancy instruments that they have created. And there are certain other companies existing in the financial setup who have very, very lucrative projects. But to fund these projects, they don't have money. So how would they get this money? On the other hand, there are financial institutions, FIIs, financial institutional investors. They could be hedge funds, they could be index funds, they could be pension funds and other investors who invest into these securities or these projects to get higher returns so that the financial instruments that they have made and sold to their clients, they will be in a position to give suitable returns and lucrative returns to these people. So during the subprime crisis, what happened? There was a lot of pressure from the government initially. It happens in every country that politicians, to make their image excellent, what they try to do, they are forcing the institutions that every low income and every middle income person should have a home. So that is giving an opportunity to these institutions who have the capability to lend on to very, very liberal terms. What do you mean by liberal terms? Can anybody tell me that if a financial institution who is capable of lending money is lending on to liberal terms, what liberal terms they could be?
So it can be, the rate of interest can be
Excellent, excellent. The first thing is, if you are getting a liberal loan, suppose that loan was earlier available on 15% rate, now you are getting on 10% rate. The next thing is, if somebody has taken a loan from somewhere, you would know that person comes with that person gets a commission on it. And that person will come and tell you fancy things about and excellent things about that product, that why you should buy it and it is great and very reasonable rate of interest is there. And then your credibility to pay that loan is checked. There is a checklist, I mean 40-50 pages of a small document, and then you have to sign on to every page and you don't even see that what's written in there. What they did, that they relaxed the conditions. They did not check it properly that the person who is taking the loan is even capable of returning the loan. And it was the time when the real estate market was booming. I mean, something which was worth say 2 lakh rupees was selling for 4 lakh rupees. So these banks, suppose I gave this person a loan, he is not credible. He will not be in a position of returning the back the money. But God, that house is as a collateral, and in case he fails to pay me, I'll sell that house and get a lot of money. So I mean there is no risk for me, and I'll definitely get this loan. So this started happening. What these banks did, banks or other institutions, say development institutions who gave loans, what they did, they made a box of these loans. Okay, this is 100 million USD. So I have made this basket. Some of these loans in this basket are excellent. Some of the loans in this basket are worthless. Some of the loans can't even be graded. So I have made a basket, and through this basket I will be getting cash flows. These cash flows I will be getting from the people who have taken loan from me. But being a financial institution, I would never like to keep these assets on my balance sheet because government doesn't allow this. So then comes securitization in picture, that breaking this loan into small amounts and selling it to someone else, so that now that someone else will be getting some percentage of that interest that is coming to me, I'll get some small margin, but I don't have risk. And these people will be the ultimate person who has actually lent to, say, person A, B, C, D, whose assets are these. Now bank transfer this makes a body a special purpose vehicle, SPV. A special purpose vehicle, and the purpose of this vehicle is that this all loan amount is given to this body created by the institution. Three tranches of these assets are created now. These are three tranches of these assets. The bank has broken it. Tranche number 1 has AAA rated securities. This is the mezzanine tranche or the middle tranche, which has BBB rated securities. This is called the equity tranche. With the highest risk, this equity tranche has the highest risk, and the security which are given in this tranche are not even rated, non-rated securities, non-rated. You might not be aware of rating. What rating is? There are several agencies, say Moody's, Standard & Poor's and Fitch, who rate the credibility of the companies. That is, if you give a certain entity some amount of loan, what is the credibility of that entity that it will return you that loan? The treasury bonds or bonds of governments, particularly the countries who are developed and the countries who are in a better position, they are rated AAA. So people assume that a bond, a corporate bond, which is rated AAA, or they have different ratings, say A++ rating or EE+ rating, they have different criteria. So they are as good as investing into a government bond which will never default, and I will always get the written or the given coupon rate. Coupon rate is the interest rate on a bond. Fine. So these securities are not rated. These are BBB rated and AA rated. So the institutions assume that in case I am not getting 100% of the payments from these people, some of these have defaulted. So how I will pay? My priority order would be that I will pay these people first, but there is a difference. LIBOR rate is there. What is this? LIBOR rate is London Interbank Offer Rate. This is the rate decided by the major banks in London. They decide a rate that this is the base. Over and above this rate, other entities existing in the market can add some spread, extra percent or basis points on it, and can sell this loan to people. So they'll add, say, 100 basis points. 100 basis points they have added to it, because this is the most secure part of the loan. A basis point is equal to 100 basis point is equal to 1%, which means 1 basis point is equal to 0.01%. You must have heard about basis points. They talk in terms of basis point and the fancy word. Actually, they can talk in terms of percentage also, but that wouldn't do that professionally. So it's like that. The most secure part will be getting this. Okay, this person has to bear some more risk, so he should be compensated for that risk. Therefore, LIBOR plus say 300 basis points. I'll be giving this person. That means 3%. And here LIBOR plus 2000 basis points. Somebody please tell me how many percentage means 2000 basis points? 20%. I mean, everybody is awake and they are listening. Good. So they are getting 20%. So if you look at this, you feel that this person is at the greatest advantage. I mean, there is no comparison between 1% and 20%. But you know, when the money comes, first it will be given to these people. If anything is left, it will be given to these people. If anything is left at last, it will be given to these people. So that is the point. So this is the concept of securitization, that how assets are put into a basket, they are mixed and then broken into securities and sold to different people. 1 or 2% is earned by the bank, but ultimately the risk is transferred to someone else. And if there is a lot of default, then these people will be in the zero. That is the problem. They who don't have sufficient assets to show their credibility, at least they can get loans. That is the point, because earlier institutions are not providing them loans. So they would like to own a house, even if that loan is slightly costly, but with liberal terms. That was the reason that some of these banks were giving teaser interest rates. In the initial years of the loan, say some person is saying that I am not in a position of paying that 2% of loan. How can I pay you? They'll tell a number of things. For example, they'll tell them that in the initial years we will charge you 8%. And after that, after 3 years, we think that you will be in a better position. If you want to rent your house, you have the house. Rent it, you'll be getting some money, you'll be in a better position. Thus, you'll be owning the house. So after 3 years, we'll come to the normal rate of interest and 15%. Okay, fine. Somebody is still trying to give me a loan without my being credible, it's okay. That actually happens. So, and now the question, that's a very good question, because you should ask them why these people will buy these kind of loans. The reason is that every investor wants to invest. Those who have money, they want to invest. But not everybody can give mortgages. But at least they can buy part of these mortgages and get interest on it. So the amount of energy, time, analysis these banks have invested on giving loan, they are not incurring that. All they have to do is to buy a paper on which they will get interest. That is it. So now what banks started doing when the market was good and they were making money on it, nothing bad was happening. What they did, they started breaking, say, before they were, these assets were in a basket. 1, 2, 3 and up to N.